I thought this would be such a great video to get into because I know a lot of people want to figure out, well, what can they do at home? Here's my answer to the question, can I do my own extractions at home, Sam? Well, yes and no. And before you decide to come up with the conclusion as to what you think is appropriate to you, I just want to give you a little bit of background to help you to find that answer yourself, because that could kind of be a gray area. Like, in a sense, there's always going to be those people, they are the DIYers, right? Those are those people who I could tell them, go to a professional, and they're going to just want to do it. So if that's you, or if you actually just don't have a choice, like there are some of us legitimately who just actually are in lockdown and we don't really have a choice, right? Or you don't have a choice, should I say. And in that case, you've got to do what you've got to do. But before you make the decision as to if you're gonna pop your spots, then please hear me out, because I want to give you a little bit of background about the okay, go ahead and do it, and the ones you absolutely no, do not touch them. Do not touch them.
Okay guys, so let's get into it.
In a nutshell, our skin's like just getting more prone to breakouts. I know mine is, and I speak on behalf of myself. And I'm going to do another video after this where my daughter and I, we're like also just discussing this whole mask wearing and how it's like affecting our skin. She's younger, so she just naturally has that oil production. But for me, like, I'm aging and I'm trying to do the best that I can a lot of the time to even have collagen. So when I saw that these breakouts were happening, hands down, a lot of it is related to the stress of this pandemic and the events that have just been going on, as well as that mask wearing. So throughout this throughout this pandemic, I know many people, including myself, we've all had to learn to be just so much more resourceful and self-efficient. It's definitely not been all bad, from just, baking, learning baking recipes and bringing the gym into our home, and even, better dance steps, TikTok, and just becoming, I think, more efficient in our skincare, just because many of us, like I said, we've had to wear the masks. But on top of that, there's just been, when we're in this lockdown, and even if we can go out, there has just been an emphasis on our self-care and things we can do at home. And I personally see skincare as well as quite soothing. So there's a lot of benefits and reasons as to why taking care of your skin at any time is good, but especially now, historical time of global mask wearing, that our skin for the most part just isn't getting that ventilation, so it's just completely so much more asphyxiated and prone to that buildup of the bacteria, and we're just like recirculating that carbon monoxide. Anyway, I won't get too scientific there. There are two types of breakouts that you're going to most commonly experience. Actually, scratch that. There are two types of breakouts, right? So your pustules, those are going to be your enlarged pores that are clogged, commonly known as your blackheads and your whiteheads. And the only difference is that the blackheads, if you think about an apple that you chop and you like to look at it, after about a minute, it starts to get brown, right? That's because of oxidation. The same with your skin. So once that pore is open and the bacteria, that oil and sebum comes to the surface, once that oxygen hits it, it just starts to darken. So the whitehead just hasn't been exposed to any oxygen, hence why it stays white, and your blackhead turns black. Interesting, right? I think so. Now, they are actually open in a sense that you can extract them with preparation. Pustules are under the skin, and these are the little bit more tricky ones. So the ones that are painful and they're deep underneath the skin, also known as closed comedones. Now, those are the ones that you're going to need to have a professional look at, actually a dermatologist, because technically, even an esthetician, they really shouldn't be prodding. When it becomes to that level where your infection is so serious in your skin, it can really become inflamed, and you don't want to play around with somebody telling you they can extract it and make it better. In those cases, often you are going to have to just seek medical advice or have some type of prescription if it doesn't naturally go down itself. For the most part, our immune system will fight that infection, and your papule is going to disappear by itself. So I've essentially discuss the two types of comedones that we have, which are the closed comedones. Remember, those are the ones under the skin. There's no opening visible. You'd need a magnifying glass to be able to actually see if you're able to get any type of extraction done. And even then, in some cases, you're just still not going to be able to extract any type of pus. So our closed comedones, let's send those on to the professionals. And now the open comedones, those are the ones that if your skin is prepared and ready, you could, if done correctly, extract them. I still think this is something that even a professional has to be really cautious about when it comes to extractions. So if they can just do their thing and go away themselves, let's always go that route. Let's always just leave extracting where and when we can. In this video, I won't go on about how to extract, but here's some things that I want you to know before you decide. 1, let's make sure that we actually have a pustule. 2, is your skin prepared? So have you done the at-home skincare that you need to do to prepare your skin? Liken it to someone who goes to the gym. You wouldn't just go in there and start trying to push 200-pound weights on a bench, right? Would you? I don't think that's smart. You'd have to work your way up so that you'd be strong enough to do it. Same with your skin. You shouldn't just be jumping in and trying to pop pimples when the skin isn't prepared. And there's different types of preparation, really. You've got preparation that you've been doing over time so that your pores are just naturally loose. And you can do that with products such as alpha hydroxys and just products that really help to exfoliate your skin over time. Or there are some people who have no skincare regime and they haven't done anything gradually over time to loosen up their pores and the dirt, and they may just see a YouTube video and decide to put some steam and heat and get one of those machines and pop. Look, just because you're putting steam on your face, unfortunately, it doesn't mean your skin's healthy or prepared for extractions. So in those cases, give yourself and your skin that care it needs prior to just jumping in. Just because, like I said, there's more complications and damage that you can do to your skin. And 3, how are you going to take care of your skin after you have done an extraction? Because let's face it, you've technically created a mini wound in a sense that now bacteria has been exposed. It's come up. We're pushing it up and out through the surface, through our little pores, right? So they are more likely to still be on your surface. So you have to make sure that you're doing the antibacterial treatment after extractions. And I'll leave some information in the description box below. Remember, that is paramount. It's crucial. There's absolutely no point bringing up all this pus and extracting and not following up with it correctly. If we go back to how we're like it in the gym, it's like doing a really strong workout, really getting those muscles going and basically just not cooling down or stretching and having a lot of pain after. So it can become counterproductive because you could create an injury, right? And again, we'll just put that in the context of our skin. There's a system to everything, and there's just not enough time in this really small window of a video that I wanted to make. But I was hoping, and hopefully I have done this, that I've given you some passion behind it and a little bit of interest for you to go and explore and learn more. I'm not the only resource out here on YouTube relating to extraction. There's a ton of information, but I'm excited, I'm passionate because I love skin, and I do hope that that comes through in the way that I talk about it. With that being said, just make sure that whatever you do and whatever you decide, that you are doing your extractions with a clear guide of how to do it. Thanks for watching my video, guys. It means so much to me. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe, and in the meantime, don't forget to take care of you so that you can show up and be there for the ones that you love. for now. There are two types of breakouts that you're gonna encounter. Those are gonna be your papules and your pustules.